Yeah, I mean, I hope that I'm not just on some sort of quarantine weirdo like babbling, but hopefully you can see um, what I mean when I say that this is a way that I hadn't thought about the OPZ functioning. Hello, friends. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. This is Grady from B613. This is my first tutorial. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Not really even a tutorial, just like, hey, here's what I thought about, here's what I tried doing, and here's what I think it's capable of. Um, so, yes, bought this amazing piece of equipment a couple months ago. If you're watching this, you either have one or you're thinking about getting one, and you already know it's amazing. This instrument is just it's just amazing. I mean, the sounds it has, it can get, the sequencing capabilities, and mainly, and it's gonna be a big focus of this video, is the step components and this performance track. Um, the other night, I had been fooling around with this thing right before bed, just kind of playing some music, creating some stuff, and uh, put it away, laid down, was trying to go to sleep. Couldn't sleep. I was thinking about the OPZ. Kind of maybe a weird thing to think about before you go to sleep, but that's kind of usually the things I think about. Also, what Gary Busey's doing right now in this moment, or how ridiculous golf is as a game. Um, but one thing I was thinking about, and if you're watching this video, you're probably like me, in that you've scoured YouTube for all the OPZ content and relevant tutorials that you can find, and there's amazing ones out there. Red means recording, cuckoo. Hopefully I said that right. Uh, Knobs. I mean, just a ton of great things that can show you, and I used to learn how to manipulate this instrument. Uh, but one thing that I haven't seen, and I just maybe haven't looked hard enough, but I haven't seen the OPZ used as a MIDI controller with Logic Pro. And in the way that I say that is that I've seen people use the OPZ as the brain for like a MIDI full size keyboard. So you have full piano keys to trigger this as like the brain. But what I haven't seen is more of Logic being the brain and the OPZ being kind of the instrument. In that it's sending MIDI signal, but it's also you also are open to um, the step components and the performance track, and I mean basically anything. I mean the tape track as well, um, and so all that to say is all of a sudden when I started thinking about it that way, it wasn't all of a sudden it wasn't 8 banks, 8 tracks with 10 banks worth of sounds, which don't get me wrong. I mean, that's a ton of space. You can get a million different sounds, with filters and how you use these knobs. But now, in my mind, you're when you pair this with Logic, all of a sudden you have the full library and literally any song. Now with Logic's, new sampler of the possibilities just go through the roof of what you can do with it. And so I've kind of fooled around with it a little bit, not a ton, but I can already tell that I'm going to be using this a lot in the future, just because it's just there's so much you can do with it. And so, yeah, hopefully this is going to spark some creativity in you. Hopefully it's useful. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm not gonna if you're here, I'm not gonna waste your time with setting up your audio preferences in Logic, right? I mean, you probably already know. Preferences, audio, input device is the OPZ. Output device is going to be my interface over there. And so usually, up to this point, I would just I would just get a project ready to go on the OPZ, open up an audio track in Logic, hit record, right, and then just let it roll. Just do everything that makes the OPZ awesome. Just stuff like that, right? Which is great. I mean, that it's super simple. It's literally two mouse clicks and you're rolling. You've got sound waves that you can sample, manipulate, chop, rearrange. I mean, it's amazing. It's super great. But how I want to look at this today is if we make a new track, software instrument, and let's do like a retro synth and vintage Doppler. I don't know what this sounds like, but okay. So now all of a sudden, I'll mute this. Actually, let's delete this because we're not even going to fool with this today. We're going to fool with MIDI stuff. So all we've got here is one track with the synth. It's armed, and then we've got the OPZ acting as a MIDI controller, right? So I don't know how this is going to sound. I haven't pre-tested this, but basically the OPZ is going to be sending the MIDI output for that song that I just rolled. So there's literally 8 tracks all going at the same time, sending different octaves and all kinds of stuff. So I'm just going to hit play. This could be madness. Let's see how it sounds. Not amazing, but it's interesting, But here's what we're gonna do to tame it back, right? Is you see all of our tracks are active. Let's start kind of cutting away. I'm gonna leave the harp on, get rid of the bass. So now, what you're hearing is, so we've got the kick track triggering MIDI signal. We've got the snare kind of doing some stuff, and then we've got the ARP track. So what interests me is, one, if you look at the screen, now all of a sudden instead of eight tracks with 10 banks, you look on my screen, we've literally got whatever you want. All kinds of sounds at the click of a button, right? So we could change the percussion. All of a sudden you want to go from a synth to a percussion sound, and then you roll it. Interesting stuff. And then now let's go back to the performance track. Now you have access to filters. You can randomize. It just opens up so much. And then look, one click, vintage B3 organ, soul organ. Let's see what happens. Still in the performance track. So you can see on the drum side of performance triggers, the effects that you can do, it doesn't work so good. But over here, so you can get like some repeat stuff. Maybe some latency issues. So I think there are some glitches. I will give you that, of like, but hopefully you're seeing what I'm saying here is you all of a sudden have access to any instrument, any MIDI instrument that you can import into Logic is now being triggered by the OPZ, right? Which, I mean, I think it's amazing. I think this is, for me at least, I hadn't been thinking about it in this aspect, and I think it's going to open some things up for me and how I work and my workflow, and then also how I create. See, I mean, that sounds so tight. And then literally all we have to do you can see the MIDI information having it's just see that's the engine of the OPZ doing its thing. Say you wanted to A-B it, just create another duplicate track, change it to classic clean or something. Then we drag this one down. I mean, the workflow for me this is gonna be just wild. So now we got this classic clean, getting the exact same MIDI. If we unmuted this. Yeah, I mean, I hope that I'm not just on some sort of quarantine weirdo like babbling, but hopefully you can see what I mean when I say that this is a way that I hadn't thought about the OPZ functioning, that it could do this kind of stuff. All right, so here we are. We're back. So I haven't tested this out. I don't know if this is going to work. If this fails, I'll just cut everything down so I'll show you. This failed. This did not work. Because I want to show you my defeats along with my victories. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is I want to create a new MIDI instrument using Logic's new quick sampler. So we're going to use this Blake Mills song, History of My Life. Absolute, one of my favorite songs of all time. It's amazing. So we're going to drag it over here. Oh, it's a live version. So drag it over here. Quick sampler. We're going to do optimized. I haven't spent a ton of time with quick sampler. I know it's going to be amazing. I know it is amazing. I know hopefully I will get to the point that I can use it to its full potential. But I'm going to show you what I'm thinking is going to be possible here. So, this is the new quick sampler, right? So I'm thinking as I trigger this, it's just going to be like using my normal keyboard. We'll hear a piece of the sound. Sounds pretty rad. I'm going to be honest with you. Sounds really rad. I'm still trying to get my shortcuts down inside here. Yeah. For those of you wondering, you just scroll, use your scroll wheel down, and that zooms. So basically, we're just looking for just Blake Mills is just a beast all the way around. My plan here is I'm going to sequence this. I already don't like that one. I'm going to sequence starting here. Hot! Let's go back to that one. I don't really like that. I don't like that one either. Don't like that one either. That's alright. Ooh, that's good. Okay. So, now, I don't know what my tempo is here. 90. So I tried to match the project tempo. But I'm going to kick this up to, let's go 120. Anybody in here that's new with OPZ, you can hold down the metronome, and then type in your tempo if you don't want to fire up your phone or your iPad. Okay, so let's hear how this sounds. This is there's no step components. I'm not in the track, but I'm going to show you what I'm envisioning is possible with this. So let's hear how it goes. Doesn't sound that great. Let's slow it down. Possibilities here, man. I really do. So let's let's throw a reverb on, and fellas and ladies, we are getting ready to go to like Wow Town. Wow. I mean, it's just, what I'm saying is crazy. You take a symphony track, don't get sued. Go find a royalty-free symphony track, drag it in a quick sampler, hook your OPZ to it, and let it go to town. But this is the cool part. And I'm trying to think the way that I want to do this is because all of these notes are obviously different chops of the song. You could take time and really fine-tune just the samples that you want, cut out everything that you don't. But for this example, I'm going to use I can't remember what these are called, and I'm sorry. I'm very much a nerd, but I'm very selective in what I nerd out on. But, I know this is glide, right? So let's just pick some random ones. We'll do glide. Let's say this guy. These two we're gonna hold. I think this is hold for 4 counts, maybe. What I don't want to do is randomize stuff, because then we'll get weird cuts in there. But then let's take this one, let it repeat. Let's hear how it sounds. Let's see what happens. It's already doing cool stuff, right? I mean, just you're hearing what is possible here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the performance track. And the way you need to think about this is, although it does sound melodic, and it sounds like you would be triggering on this side. If you know what I mean with the performance track, it's all in the kick track. So everything's going to be on this side, if that makes sense. Go watch some videos on the performance track of OPZ if you don't understand what I'm saying. But check this out. Watch. So it's real subtle, but you can hear it. So it's just holding it. So some of these, it doesn't like it very much. Some of them. part is that now we have this chunk of MIDI data that can be put on anything, right? Kind of cool. I'm going to be honest. And there you go, man. I mean, I think you get my point. I think you do. I hope you do. I'm gonna close the video out because I think you understand what I'm saying, but I hope that this is useful to you. Please hit me in the comments if you've got questions about what I did or what in the world I'm talking about. Feel free. It's just good. It's just good stuff. So there you go. Hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm hoping to do a lot more of these videos. I'll try and get better, concise. But hopefully it's been useful and you can see what I think this thing is capable of. And yeah, I'll probably record some performance videos using this and show you how I used it. So hope you have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.